bag. I'm not gonna lie, go squeezes are kind of good. But the 5-year-old in question was
It was
autistic.
that. YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we are reacting to Omizi. She got 500,000 for calling an autistic 5-year-old a slur. If I'm correct, I've seen this on Twitter. She pretty much called him the hard R. And I don't condone the usage of that word, but well, it's not really my judge. If you can't tell, it's not up to me to decide, so. But calling someone the hard R is crazy. So, without further ado, let's get right into it.
You call him the child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him a. Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say. Nobody dig into your. That little kid, you call him a. The little child? Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5-year-old an N-word.
If that's what
Well, if the kid is stealing his stuff, one, talk to the kid. Okay, hey, this is her stuff. Can you please give it back? And if the kid's acting like a brat, get the parents involved. Well, they'll teach him a lesson, and plus, since they'll teach him a lesson, he'll for sure get the stuff back. Now, once the parents are around, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what to do there. You could have done so many other things, but not call him the word.
That's what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know that's a hate speech, and you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh. Okay, we'll see about that. What the internet has to say about you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the internet has to say. I'm sure they'll be calling for her name. Another Karen calling a black
It depends which side of the internet you're on.
person something.
You're on the red hats, MAGA side of things. You'll think she deserves money for it. Or if you're an actual reasonable human being that knows the usage of that word is offensive, you'll think she's fucked up for that. And she's wrong for that.
Crazy at the park. That's a child be calling for her name. Another Karen calling a black person something crazy at the park. That's a child. They have to be getting her up out of here. Like, right? That's the only thing that makes sense, right? Is that $1 million goal with half of it raised for her being racist? Oh my God. Now, I thought during the pandemic times, the country peaked when it came to racial divides. But coming into 2025 with divisive situations like the Carmelo Anthony situation, you know, the election of Donald Trump and other things like that, there couldn't be much more that could happen that could divide this country any further. At least I would think. But apparently when this racist white woman named Shiloh Hendrix went to the park and called a disabled child the hard R N-word, she was able to raise $500,000 in
You know what's going to suck too? Kid's going to end up growing up to be racist, bro.
For $1 million for literally being racist. I think this country has lost its mind.
Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say. That little kid, you call him a. The little child?
What if he acts like one? He's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
Her claims are that this 5-year-old child was digging into her things, you know, stealing whatever sort of snacks she had packed for her child. Now, maybe if something physically was happening to her child, then I could understand it. But this is a park filled with like kids, like true kids. Him taking something while it being wrong doesn't then mean that you retaliate with a bunch of racial epithets. And then, as you heard in that same clip, she said that she was willing to chase him and hit him because if he was acting like a hard R, he was going to get treated like a hard R. I also think it's crazy because there's a lot of non-black seemingly in this situation saying the N-word, but you know, hey. I think what really puts the icing on the cake, and she may or may have not known this, but I don't know, as a parent or as just a person living in society, I think she should be able to tell this. But the 5-year-old in question who was stealing, you know, the go-go squeeze or whatever the hell out of this person's, you know, diaper bag. I'm not gonna lie, go-go squeezes are kind of good. But the 5-year-old in question was
It was
autistic.
that. Uh,
So not only was he a 5-year-old child, he was an autistic 5-year-old child, you know, looking for snacks. I'm pretty sure that little boy has no clue what's going on. He might not even know what the
not good.
N-word with the hard R means. He's just running around at the park. And it's very sad to see that his first sign of racism is at such a young age. Even though that's very common, I think this is a very aggressive version of it. And that's crazy. Now, normally in these situations, people would be looking to get this woman the hell up out of here. They would be looking to get a Karen like this fired from her job. I mean, people would objectively be able to see that this is wrong. But not this woman, Shiloh Hendricks. She decided to put out a Give, Send, Go, which is the platform that Carmelo Anthony's family has been using in order to collect their donations. I think that that's a funny coincidence right there. In order to galvanize a community because she feels threatened. She says, "Hello, my name is Shiloh, and I have been put in a very dire situation. I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was, a hard R N-word. Another man who we recently found out had a history with law enforcement proceeded to record me and follow me to my car. He then posted these videos online, which has caused my family and myself great turmoil. My SSN has been leaked, my address and phone number have been given out freely. My family members are being attacked, you know, verbally, not physically. My eldest child may not be going back to school. Even where I exercise has been exposed. I'm asking for your help to
And then you victim blame. You literally become the side that you hate, bruh.
assist in protecting my family. I fear that we must relocate. I have 2 small children who do not deserve this. We have been threatened to the extreme by people online. Anything will help. We cannot and will not live in fear." I think what's very interesting about this situation is she only set the donation goal for $20,000, but because America is so racist, she got half of that $20,000 goal in one anonymous giver. She then upped it to $1 million, in which they met half of the goal already, and it's only been a few days. It's so funny how blatant this racism is. I mean, the woman in question, Shiloh Hendricks, has a clear history of being not the model person to be giving donations to. The internet quickly pulled up a
I'm the kid's parents. One, we getting a lawyer, and we taking all that money.
shit ton of her
Fuck you
criminal
mean?
records. She has like 3 or 4 cases
Fuck
where
you
she's
mean?
been disorderly in public, just like this situation here. But that doesn't matter because, you know, she's white.
Shiloh Hendricks called a 5-year-old black boy who has autism the N-word. And then when confronted, the person filming her, she called him the N-word at least 5 times. And that is terrible. That is disgusting behavior. But what's even worse, and it shouldn't be shocking, but it is that she raised over $100,000. But that's not what it is currently. Her original goal was for $150,000. They surpassed that goal and they went to $300,000. She currently has $311,000 and she is working towards $1 million. All because she called a 5-year-old black boy the N-word.
Now, what I find so funny in this situation is that people are just being straight blatant with their racism. You know, some of the top donations say things like white lives matter, or, you know, hey, we're sick and tired of this, or from a tired and understanding American. Although there are people in so many different rural areas, you know, different counties, different states in the United States that really could be using these donated dollars, that really could be putting this money to good
True.
use and good work, not people who have been in situations where they said something that was a racial epithet to a child and now they need protection from people, etc., etc. There are true white people that need help if all white lives matter, or whatever the case may be. But no, they're using this as a moment to essentially get off a lot of different, disgusting, nasty rhetoric. People like Elijah Schaefer, some random YouTube commentator who we can confidently say is now racist, sent out a donation to say, "Sending my personal support. We are all fatigued and know that rather than changing their behavior, behavior, minorities insist on trying to police our words. I expected nothing less than animal behavior for the dregs of society and understand the protective nature you have for your baby. Stay safe. Email me if you need help getting out your side of the story. You'll get through this. We can't forget that this is about a go-go squeeze and an autistic 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. Mind you, the 2-year-old baby, whatever it was, wasn't even in danger as explained by the mom, which I know the story will probably change when we get to the real story. But yeah, the 5-year-old autistic child was stealing the go-go squeeze from her diaper bag. Real safety concern. I've seen people make bad faith comparisons between this situation and the Austin Metcalf Carmelo Anthony situation, seemingly saying that you can't pick and choose between, giving one child bail money for a case that potentially has self-defense implications where, there's so much more narrative to the story as opposed to this person who was openly and admittedly racist towards a 5-year-old black child. What are we doing? What are we doing? And now we're even getting to the point where I'm seeing people defend Shiloh Hendrix because the man in question, Mr. Omar, the person who was recording in question had former essay allegations towards a minor on his jacket. He had a charge in a case for all those things like that. And so they're bringing that up. All that is to distract and try to justify the actions of Shiloh Hendrix in some sort of an attempt to defend her and what she did. Now, I'm going to go ahead and kill a lot of people's dreams here, but the charges were dropped against the cameraman. But none of that ultimately matters. That doesn't matter if a pred recorded it. That doesn't matter if somebody who punches, walls for a living record. It doesn't matter who recorded. This woman said what she said. That doesn't mean that we need to turn around and redirect the conversation. And now you look stupid, just like in the Carmelo Anthony situation and a lot of other situations, when you try to bring up this evidence as some sort of distraction.
Bro, the White Lives Matter pro-MAGA movement, and I don't even hate Trump supporters. I got nothing against them. It's the racist one. And they make all these guys look bad, bruh. This group, I forgot what I was gonna say, bruh.
Or this proof that tries to disprove
I
whatever
forgot
narrative
what I
you're
was
trying
gonna
to
say.
paint. Like the person, Mr. Omar, Sharmak Omar, saying that, hey, he did.
Just realized my mic wasn't even plugged in. Hey, now I don't know for sure if it's recording or not. Nah, I'm saying.
these things with the child, even though they were dismissed, and
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Carmelo
See if that's
Anthony
better. If
doesn't
not,
have a father and he's not a good student, and his father came out and he ended up being a good student. You look stupid when you push those narratives because they're trying to distract and then they get debunked, and now you're scrambling again for other things to help justify your racism. Just be racist. Now on this channel, we've given praise to Give Send Go as a platform who has allowed Carmelo Anthony and his family to raise defense money. We know that GoFundMe has strict laws that prohibit, people from raising money that are inactive and ongoing investigations that are involved in criminal proceedings. So Give Send Go was a platform and an outlet for him to raise some sort of bail money in order to get out of that situation. But this one we don't agree with. So naturally we had to look and see why Give Send Go would allow stuff like this to happen. And they've been tweeting and retweeting some pretty interesting conversations that people have been giving towards them directly or just having about them, about how they're a free speech platform. This is an equal opportunist platform and a bunch of religious things.
I'm all for free speech, but there's a line. There's a line. There's stuff that you just cannot say. Just that. And if y'all want to call me Snow Baby, or not Snow Babies, Snowflake, suck my dick, bro. I laugh and make jokes about more dark humor stuff than y'all have ever done in y'all's lives.
things. Your site really doesn't get enough credit for being a true free speech platform, even though this isn't a manner of free speech. Or this very, very odd one that says murder is a sin, raising money for a murderer is a sin, using racial slurs is a sin, doxing people is a sin. All of it is sin, and sin is our problem, not skin color. When we focus on the solution to the sin, we'll stop being so divided. Until then, we're cooked. I don't know, that this is a little different of a situation, brother. But what I found the most interesting is that the co-founder, Jacob Wells, finally got sick of all the commentary because it was so disgusting between both of these. And it's very important that we realize that the Carmelo Anthony situation is happening simultaneously, because a lot of people are using that as some sort of justification to prop up this racist woman. But so Jacob Wells put out this statement.
Oh, I haven't recorded a video on that. I know as much as I know right now. But there's a lot of fake stuff out there. All I know is we don't know shit. We don't know shit. Both sides. Both of y'all. Don't get me wrong. First off, that should not be a race war. That should not be a race war. I don't know why it became that. But fuck y'all. But what else? I'm gonna say, yeah, that's all I gotta say. It should not have gone to that. And plus, wait until more information, because y'all make up fake information, y'all eat it all up, and then you get the police station that's investigating this, who has all the facts, or is trying to get all the facts, come out and say it's fake.
On what's going on with the two fundraisers. At GiveSendGo, we recently disabled comments on the fundraising campaigns for Carmelo Anthony and Shiloh Hendrix due to the unacceptable volume of racist and derogatory remarks. At this time, comments were turned off. Both campaigns had raised approximately $500,000 with around 15,000 donors each. Crazy parallels. We remain committed to ensuring all funds raised are delivered to the campaign recipients as intended. However, we unequivocally condemned the hateful comments that sought to fuel division and harmful narratives. These remarks do not reflect GiveSendGo's values of hope, compassion, and fairness. Our platform exists to support individuals and families in need, and we uphold the principle that everyone deserves a fair process, not judgment by mob outrage. We took action to stop the spread of divisive rhetoric while ensuring the campaigns continue to serve their intended purpose. We call for respectful dialogue and understanding, even in challenging situations. Thank you for supporting our mission to share hope and help. Bravo. Way to sit on the fence there. I don't think I need to say this, but the biggest difference between the Carmelo Anthony situation and this situation with Shiloh Hendrix is footage. Plain and simple. Footage and a clear admittance as to what went on. That, and you add the actual racial element to it, like the acknowledged and admitted racial element, make these two total different situations. Jacob, you didn't have to do this. This was a bad move. I'm literally seeing people on the internet prop this woman up as if she's some sort of hero or martyr for calling a 5-year-old autistic child the hard R N-word. We've seen situations before where racist martyrs have stepped up and become sort of political figures because they said something outrageous to somebody of a different community. I remember that woman from a couple months ago who said the N-word while wearing an apron or whatever, and she ended up being with like Sneeko and Nick Fuentes and a lot of the right-wing political commentary people.
Everybody I know who's married right now, married to broke-ass niggas. And they don't care. We don't give a fuck about your money.
Hey, that was me at the top. But people like her or Myron or a lot of these people who are literally racist for clicks realize fast is that, hey, these people actually don't care about me. These people don't even want me in their communities, in their circles. They just want to use me in order to get their racist talking points out. What Shiloh Hendrix has to realize is that a lot of those people were anonymous donators. Hear me out when I say this. See, you're not going to get real life support from these people. Sure, you'll get support from the Elijah Schafers of the world, but he's already been casted as somebody who's on the fringes of society and is an internet personality and is just openly racist. So he can live his life like that, but the types of connections that he has that you will be able to tap into later on as you have to live with the consequences of your actions won't be the ones that you want. You have to continue to double down and triple down and be progressively more racist. Oxymoronic just a little bit. But you have to up it on the scale of what is and isn't okay with you. You'll have to double and triple down. You might have said those things about that young black boy, but might not have those feelings about black men as people have shown in pictures. What I'm ultimately saying is you're tying yourself to a community that doesn't really support you. And hey, I know that sounds crazy after getting $500,000 and is on a fast pace to a full $1 million. But you seem fairly young. That money's gonna run out. And then when you have to face the real world consequences of your actions, you know, trying to get a job, trying to live in a certain society, trying to go to the gym even, that's gonna be pretty tough for you. And while you're looking in real life for people to help you, those anonymous faces won't come and defend you in these very public places. You understand what I'm saying? If they really wanted to support you, if they really truly believed your cause was good or whatever the case may be, and weren't just trying to get off their nasty rhetoric or weren't feeling scorned because they feel less empowered or whatever the case may be, they would put a name on that bullet. But they don't, because they're scared. Just like you were when you called a 5-year-old autistic boy the N-word. God, these racists make me sick.
And like I said, I don't know why we're still having racism in the big 2025. I don't think we'll ever beat it, bro. But I hope y'all enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.